Everyone, open your sketchbook to a fresh page, and today we're going to learn how to create the illusion of depth using an object. The very easiest way to do that is with a cube. And we're going to create the illusion in drawing, which is called not foreshadowing. You've probably heard it. Foreshadowing is with, like, when authors kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen in a book, and they like hint about it. But foreshortening is an illusion of depth. So we can make this look cooler and more dynamic than just a boring little block. Okay, so who cares? When you are drawing more than just a block, once you learn how to draw it on a block, you can draw other things and make them look super cool and show a lot of depth on the page. So here we go. We're going to give it a shot. First thing we got to do when we're drawing a block is know that these three lines are all going to be parallel to the side of your sketchbook or your page. So first thing I'm going to do is practice pivoting my arm on my shoulder and make those long lines. Next, I'm going to create lines that are parallel to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, I'm not worried about the proportion, meaning proportion is a comparison between one angle and another. I'm not worried about how long this is here compared to this. We're going to talk about that later in the course and learn how to find that. For right now, we're only going to try to draw a cube in correct perspective. And the way to do that is to know that there are lines that are parallel to each other. So this line and this line and this line are going to be parallel to each other. Okay. Also, this line and this line are going to be parallel to each other. Okay. And lastly, this line, and this line are all going to be parallel to each other. If those lines are parallel to each other, then we know that our cube's drawn in correct perspective. Okay? Now, why is this important? Who cares? Fun fact, I have a cousin who flunked out of his first year of architecture school, not because he wasn't a super smart guy, not because he didn't do all his work, but because he couldn't freehand draw. One year I brought my National Art Honor Society to play school in New York City, where all of the toys are designed, including like Elmo and the Sesame Street toys. And what I learned there was, I learned that truly the most important skill, even in 2019, that a designer can learn how to do is freehand draw. Elmo was first designed on a napkin in a restaurant. The quickest way to get out your ideas in design is by hand drawing, or should be by hand drawing, right? Later, things are documented and refined on a computer, many times printed models on a 3D printer. However, all of those designs are originated on paper with a pencil or a pen. Can you believe it? Facts. Which is why we're still drawing in 2019. We're still learning how to draw. And for anyone who's interested in architecture, getting those ideas out quickly, you need to learn how to freehand draw a straight line, which is why we don't use rulers in this class. You are allowed to use rulers at the end of the course when you design your own assignment because that's yours. That is up to you. But when we draw here, we're not going to draw these basic shapes using a ruler. We're going to learn how to freehand draw them, because guess what? Practice makes perfect. My first straight lines were not straight. Your first straight lines aren't going to be straight. It's okay. Practice makes perfect. So once we can freehand draw these lines, then we want to create the illusion of depth. How do you do that? You lower the back corner or make smaller anything that's far away. Okay? So, and just by a little tiny bit. So this is where your eraser comes in. And if you have misplaced your eraser, for the whole course, I will have tiny erasers in the back of the room. And how cool is this? So, to make things look extra cool, when you're drawing a cube, you lower this corner or widen this angle of the back corner, and it gives you the illusion of depth. So just to compare, the original is like this. So this same exact technique is used in comic books. When Spider-Man knocks out the bad guy, you see the giant fist, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? So this has no foreshortening, and look at how awesome this looks. It's boring because it's a cube, but it still gives this really great illusion of depth. So, give it a shot and try to incorporate foreshortening into your drawing.